Hello and welcome, my name is Phoenix and this is the number one tip to progression in Raid Shadow Legends. So what is this number one tip, I hear you say? Well, it's rather simple. I mean, now I think about it, probably too simple. But regardless, this number one tip is indeed knowledge. Now, I know, I know a lot of people are going to say that's obvious. But hear me out, okay? I mean, I've watched a lot of raid content since starting. Probably not as much as people in endgame, but for a new player, I've watched a lot, several videos a day for 110 days. So, I've derived to the fact that learning mechanics and how the game works is far more important than simply copying builds and team comps. I mean, obviously, team comps and copying them for endgame is totally valid. If you're looking for a clan boss team and you find a comp which works, go for it. I'm not saying don't do stuff like that. I'm just saying for progression wise, don't watch someone complete stage 20 content and automatically assume that team comp is going to be able to complete it for you. So an example of this is, like I said, stage 20 content being completed by rares. Now, a lot of the time this content's being completed because of gear, not the champions. Now, if I tried that on my account, if I tried doing an all rares Dragon 20 team, my gear would not be good enough to complete it. Or okay, maybe I could complete it like 1 in 10 times, but nowhere near as well as people who are end game completing stage 20 content. So accounts looking to progress are not going to be able to achieve this, and I think it sets an unrealistic bar for accounts progressing to try and strive to and achieve. So instead you should learn from the content and transition that into your own account. Not just copying, but learning mechanics, how the game works, how champions work, and just putting that into your own account and learning from it. Okay, so let's look at an example on my account. So we're going to go look at spiders. It's a content where I can't do stage 20 yet, and I'm still progressing through. So we're on stage 17, we can do this on auto. And when I first started the game, I absolutely hated spiders. I could never I could complete it, but low stages, and I just didn't like the fight. Now I love it. I think it's a challenge. It's a different challenge. It's fun. It's quirky. It's hard, granted, but it's a challenge. So looking at the way I've progressed over time, when I was back here, stages 10, 11, etc., I started looking into content, and I found a video using Ultimate Gaelic to burn on everyone and kill the spider that way. I built an Ultimate Gaelic, took him to 60, got him ready, got some decent gear for my account at the time, and it didn't work. So, why didn't it work? Well, turns out the burn strategy, not that great until you get to stage 20. So, wasn't going to work for me trying to complete stage 10, 11, etc. So, I looked at what I had a Paragon, and I was lucky enough to finally pull some Cold Hearts, so we did some cheese strategies. We put Paragon, this is all on manual obviously, did it manually with Paragon to tank all the spiderlings. We had Cold Hearts to do the big hits and turn manipulation on the spider. We had a Razin and we had a Gorgorob to go faster and pick up the Cold Hearts if they died. And using this I did stage 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, etc. I managed to progress up. But then I needed to move on to an auto team for the missions. And Paragon doesn't work too well in auto. If anyone's tried this, you know he doesn't do his unkillable on himself. He puts it on someone else and then he dies. Great. Doesn't work. So, using the knowledge I'd picked up from the game and content creators I've been watching, I remembered a video from Hell Hades, which talks about completing spider stages and using mass AoE to essentially nuke down the spiderlings Therefore, the spider boss heals less, and you can just whittle down the spider, eventually doing that way. So we tried it. We put some AoEs in. Not this team, obviously, but we had Bellows. I had an Aethel at the time, who was probably my best champion, who was doing her AoE hit. We had a Skull Crown in there, and we were just trying to nuke down the waves every round. However, the teams kept dying, so we brought in Valkyrie. Valkyrie is, firstly, obviously, I'm amazingly lucky to have bowled Valkyrie. It's my second legendary champion, and she is fantastic. So we brought her in for the shields and the counterattacks. Counterattacks mean more AoEs, means more dead spiderlings, and the shields were going to keep everyone alive. And this was better, but it didn't work 100% of the time. It didn't really work at all, to be honest. So we thought, okay, so we need someone to tank the spiderlings. Paragon's out because he's not an auto friendly. So we decided Bellower was the best option. So we put Bellower in Lifesteal set, and we needed him to be the target. So we dropped his health, knowing how aggro works in the game between having lowest health, affinity, and buffs, etc. I managed to get Bellower's health the lowest, so he became the target. And this worked well, but not quite well enough. Bellower would lose his counter attack and then die, so wasn't ideal. So again, using knowledge, I remembered a mastery which allows you to counter attack when you lost a certain amount of HP, 25% HP. So we swapped the masteries around. We got the counter attack in, just to have a little safeguarding for when Valkyrie's counter attack fell off. Again, I had to tweak the HP levels because I needed to lose a quarter of my health every time I got hit by a spiderling. So we dropped his banner and we dropped his amulet and ring because they all gave him HP. And this meant he could now counterattack. Awesome. So I'm just going to show it on auto as an example. Fingers crossed it works, because... Yeah, so fingers crossed it works, because it doesn't always. It's not 100% complete rate. However, it is good enough to complete those missions on stage 17 auto 10 times. So as we can see, we've got Razin to do the turn meter and defense down and weaken. We've got a Cold Heart because of the Heartseeker, again doing turn meter and big hits, especially the weak down and defense down and weaken, as you can see from that hit. And we've got the Valkyrie to give us the shields and counter attack. So, issues with this comp are when Cold Heart or Golgorab loses counter attack and Bellower still has counter attack, the aggro swaps. So that is the only reason this run fails, is when the aggro swaps due to that. And there's no massive way I can get around this. It's kind of a luck. It's kind of based on luck. Valkyrie has the extended gift, so she has a chance to do the counter attack for 3 turns rather than 2. So that's another luck factor. The only way I could get around this is by having the Bellower and Golgorab and basically the whole team at the exact same speed, so the counter attacks fall off at the exact same time. But as we can see here, oh, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. I need a counter attack. No. But we brought him back. That was a perfect example of why Golgorab's here. So hopefully this counter attacks. Counter attack, back to full health. Counter attack. So this is why I got the masteries in, because when he lost counter attack he died. And he's dead again. This isn't over yet. My fastest time with this is about 2 minutes 10, 20. However, I do now have to cycle back to animate really quickly to get the Bellower back. Unless the Warmaster procs kill it. It seems unlikely. Cold Heart's going to die here. Okay. Maybe we were going to get lucky without the Bellower. But as you can see, it works perfectly until a luck factor kicks in. My counter attacks didn't proc that many times towards the end. That meant the Bellower died. The Cold Heart then died. We now just need the Gorgoroth to get back to animate, and then we need to get lucky and hope a counter-attack procs off Bellower. Unless Giant Slayer or Warmaster procs on this spider boss now, and that might be enough to finish it. And it is so perfect. Not quite the example I want to go for, but you can see that it still works. So, accuracy banner with speed, yes! I can't. This is so good for this account. I have no accuracy banners, and speed is obviously always important. So, unfortunately, it's an orc, which isn't the best. But I do think my Ultimate Gaelic needs an accuracy banner for stage 20, so that's perfect for that. So, as we can see, that's what I was referring to about knowledge. I pulled knowledge from many sources: content creators, the mastery knowledge, the aggro knowledge, how the boss works and how to beat it, and the game and its progression is all based around this. I can show more examples of different areas of the game where we've had to use knowledge to pull it in and complete those stages. But as you can see from that example, the Ultimate Gaelic strategy I saw didn't work. I had to then use my own knowledge to build a team which worked, further using knowledge to tweak it and work out ways around the problems and issues I was having. And that's really boiling down to my key point is, I'm not saying people who are trying to progress not to go watch content creators such as Hell Hades, who I watch on a daily basis. Not at all. I'm just saying, don't watch something on stage 20 being completed and being, I can use this for stage 15, stage 10, etc. Like, watch the videos, learn and absorb the knowledge, but just don't copy it and expect the same results, is essentially what I'm trying to get to. Another quick example of this is, this is actually more towards end games. This is where the copying comes in. So my Ultra Nightmare team is based around Murderink's team. So I've got Roshguard. We've got my poisoner is Frozen Banshee. Where is she? There she is. So we've got Frozen Banshee. We've got a Doom. Okay, this is where the difference comes in, and where I've changed it up to work. Where is Doom Priest? Here's Doom Priest. Skull Crusher and Razin. So this team comp's going to change a little bit to get more damage output. But if you watch Murdervink's video, the idea is Roshguard goes fast, Skull Crusher goes fast, so they both go 4 turns to the clan boss's 3 turns. However, I do not have good enough gear to achieve such speeds. My Roshguard's really fast. He's like 251, 252. Which is the fastest character I think I've got on my entire account because I gave him my best gear. But there's no way I was going to get Skull Crusher to around that levels because I didn't have the speed gear left. So I had to think of ways around this, and the way to get around this was a debuffer. The reason he has to go 4-3 is to get the cooldown he loses from the stun. So instead, I've got him going the slowest on the team and got Doom Priest going before everyone on each turn to get rid of the stun. And this means that my Skull Crusher can be going at a slower speed but still doing the exact same job as he was doing in Murderink's video. Obviously Murderink's comp is 10 times better because he's not got a Doom Priest in it, he's taken up a valuable damage slot. However, for an account who's 110 days in, as myself, this is probably the easiest way I'm going to get to Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. If I can get it to a free key, doing 24 million, 25 million a key, then hey presto, that's perfect for me. That's all I need. So this is another example of where knowledge comes in. I couldn't copy Murderink's composition, so I've used knowledge I've gained from other content creators and just trial and error through the game, and I've pulled that all together to build my own team comp which works for my account essentially. And that's the aim of the game, really. It's not, just watching stage 20 content, Ultra Nightmare content, and copying it. It's about working through the game, gaining knowledge, and pulling it together to make stuff work for yourself and your own account for progression. I mean, again, like I said, these videos are aimed to people progressing rather than endgame content. If you're already at endgame content with insane gear and insane champions, then sure, yeah, copy away, you can. But for people who are progressing, who can't copy, this is the way you progress. It's really simple, and it's hard work, but hey, that's the nature of the game, right? Nothing's easy. If something's easy, it's not worth doing. So you have to put the effort in, watch content and learn from it, learn from your mistakes, and just gain knowledge to progress, essentially. But anyway, this has been my first proper video. This is Phoenix, and thanks for watching.